Hi Aquarius, welcome to How I Love Tarot. This is your April to May love reading. So this is going to be for the next 30 days from the time that I am posting this, which is on YouTube, which is the day that I have actually done the reading. So I've already pulled your tarot. It's sitting right here and in the background, and over here are your oracle cards. And as and when the oracle cards become relevant, I will read them out to you. So basically, what we're doing here in this reading, for the love reading, is we're looking in depth at how your person feels in this relationship. So the first thing that we're looking at is, how does your person feel about you? So it looks as if you guys have gone through a thing or two, Aquarius. How your person feels about you is, we have the Page of Wands in the reverse position. We have the Five of Wands in the reverse position. We have the Nine of Wands in the reverse position. And we have the Hierophant in the reverse position. So I would say, looking at this, that there has been a lot of in the recent past, or for some of you, Spirit is saying over the past, it's kind of been since the beginning of your relationship, there has been a lot of arguing or conflict or communication. Now that sounds quite broad, doesn't it? But within that, there's been a lot of communication. Sometimes there's conflict, and sometimes there's walls coming up. Sometimes there is a feeling of just shutting down. So what your person feels is a lot of energy about the communication between the two of you. So what they feel about you is, we've got the Page of Wands in the reverse position. So they don't feel like you're back to your normal self. It seems to be like you're holding back on your communication. It seems as if they do not, how they feel about you is that they don't want any arguments with you. They don't want to cause any arguments. So it feels like they're subduing their feelings. It feels like you guys need to talk about things. It feels like you want to talk about things, but it feels like they're shutting it down. And so we have the Five of Wands in the reverse. We have the Nine of Wands in the reverse. So interestingly enough, your person's boundaries are down. So with a little bit a nudge and a tickle and a kiss, you might be able to get them to talk because their boundaries are down, which is great. Oh wait, this is in the reverse. I don't know, Aquarius, give them a nudge, tickle, and a kiss anyway and see what happens. But they don't want to talk. You know that. You know them very well. How they feel about it is that, you know, they've got this attitude that talking doesn't get anywhere. And talking is, you've got like a very traditional person on your hands, or you've got somebody that is has never been encouraged to talk about how they're feeling about a situation. They've never been encouraged to work through a situation. So they're always kind of constantly doing that with you, because you're always encouraging it. Because, you know, you can't ignore the elephant in the room, and they hate that, but they know it. They know that it needs to be discussed. They know that it needs to be worked through, but they would rather stick needles in their eyes than to talk. Aquarius, that is half of the relationships on the planet. Don't worry about it. So here we have the Hierophant in the reverse position. So how they feel about you is that you guys are not flowing and not in sync with each other currently, because of kind of all these underlying issues and discussions that have been going on. And these are very important discussions. Your person does acknowledge it, and your person does, even though they're not verbalizing it, your person, there's a lot going on in their brain. There is a lot going on in their brain. So let me continue with the reading here, because we have, what does your person see as the strength in this relationship? So let's take a look at that, and let's talk about that. So what they see as the strength is we have the Two of Pentacles in the reverse position. We have the Nine of Swords in the upright position, and we have the Ten of Swords in the reverse position. So it does feel like I just suddenly got for you, Aquarius, loss. Now, if you've been watching my readings, loss has been coming up in every single reading. But suddenly when I put the Ten of Swords down here, it feels like there's been loss of life, right? So that could be any loss of life that has been affecting this relationship. So what they see, let me go back into what they see as a strength in this relationship. What they see as a strength in this relationship is that as much as they're not discussing what is on their mind, you know what's on their mind. As much as they don't want to remain in this anxious energy, they know that they have you to balance them out. They know that, you know, they lean upon you much more than perhaps they give you credit for, or perhaps than you, like it feels like you don't feel like you can get through to them, but bloody hell, Aquarius, you are definitely getting through to them. So they see that in this relationship, and again, I feel a lot of sorrow over here. So there's some loss of some sort. So if it's not loss of life, there is some type of loss that you guys have been dealing with in this relationship. And what we have here is that what they see as a strength is that they do lean on you emotionally. And you know what? Your person wants you to lean on them too. And it feels as if the dynamic is that you guys can lean on each other, but it feels like the strength is I know I'm not there yet as far as what is their hope, but the strength in the relationship is, and what I'm getting right now is that they want more of that. They want you to lean on them. There's a little bit for some of you Aquarians, please don't get offended when I say this, but for a few Aquarians out there is a dynamic of a parental relationship. In this relationship, right? Like you feel like the mother or the father of your spouse or your partner, because, you know, there's this kind of like telling off and redirecting and kind of helping them pull their socks up and helping them pull their weight. So there's a parental dynamic, and they need that to stop. They need you to see that, you know, you may have been with them for a very long time. And so the dynamic started off when you were younger because they were much more immature at that time and you were the more mature one. Or you could have met in high school or something like that. But the dynamic was set a long time ago. This person has matured, but the dynamic has remained the same, where there's this parent-child relationship type-ish kind of thing going on. So, and that's just for a small amount of you. For others of you, it really is the fact that your person wants you to see them as you, they are your strength as well. It's just not one-sided, okay? So going into the challenge, what do they see as a challenge in this relationship? We have the Six of Cups in the upright position. We have the Knight of Swords in the upright position. We have the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse position. And we have the King of Swords in the reverse position. So what it feels like is a challenge in this relationship is kind of bringing the love back to the love flowing in this relationship. This is what your person sees as a challenge in this relationship. It doesn't feel like the love is flowing. It seems like there may have been a threat that this person abandoned you at some point, or one or both of you, or one of you in this scenario is threatening to leave this situation. So the thing about it, Aquarius, I don't know your dynamic. This is a very general love reading. And so please just take obviously what resonates. But there's a couple of you out there where there has been threats of, I'm done with this, I'm leaving, I'm divorcing you, I'm blah, 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 blah. You verbalize the threat to the relationship that you don't want the relationship. And so your person sees that as a challenge because they do see that, they take that very, very seriously. Or if they're the ones that have made the threat and you've kind of fed into it too, and you haven't, kind of held them back and said, no, that is not an option in this relationship, You know, like you may have been in an argument and they're like, you know what, I'm just going to leave. And you say in the heat of the moment, all right, then go. If you don't want to stay, then go, right? But your person is super sensitive and they remember everything you bloody say. And so they're taking these like bits and pieces of things that you've said and they're holding on to them and they're making a mountain out of a molehill. And that's where the Knight of Swords is coming in, where they feel like there's a threat to the relationship, that it can come apart. But what I am feeling intuitively, that is not the truth. It just feels like something that's been verbalized for a few of you, for a few of the Aquarians out there. So what they feel like is that this relationship is like when it gets into the heat of the moment, when you guys are flying off the handle or there's some kind of crisis in this relationship, it's like a volcano. It's just like it erupts out of nowhere and it is so damaging. And they see that as a challenge. And here we see the Knight of Swords in the reverse. And it feels as if your person does, what they see as a challenge is, I'm getting two scenarios. One is that your person does not have time by themselves to figure things out, meaning that they need time and space, not away from you. Well, yes, away from you, but not like we need to break up or take a break or anything. But it feels like you may be, I don't know, whatever it is, they don't have the space that they need to contemplate what is going on in the relationship, right? So they could wake up in the morning, be going all day at work, come home, you guys have kids, you're taking care of the kids, there's dinner, there's blah, 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 you know, all of that. And then you hit the sack and you're super tired and you just fall asleep. So there's burnout. That's what it is. They're burnt out and they can't, or you, both of you are burnt out in this situation. And there's no time to self-reflect for one or both of you in this situation. And it is a challenge that your person sees. And it looks like it, for them, it's what is needed to make this flow again, to make the love and the energy, to get it right back on track again. It feels like you guys need time away. You need time away from each other. Again, not breaking up, not taking a break or anything like that. But there's no time apart where you get alone time to just focus on you and focus on what it is that you need. And again, that is definitely for a small amount of you in that type of dynamic, because I know that not everybody here is in that type of dynamic. Next, we have, what is the hope? What does your person hope is the outcome in this relationship? So what we have here is the Sun card in the upright position. We have the 8 of Cups in the upright position, and we have the 5 of Cups in the upright position. So what your person hopes for is to leave the hurt and pain that has happened in this relationship, whatever loss that you are dealing with. Your person wants to overcome it. They want you to overcome it. They want you to overcome it as a couple. They want to walk into happiness with you. They want to see you happy. They want to, leave behind the baggage that has stopped you both from growing as a couple or moving forward as a couple. And they want you together with you, they want you both to be happy. They want you both to be happy kind of individually, like within your own selves, in your own life as an individual person, and also as a couple. So the question is, if you're wondering, do they want this relationship? According to this, absolutely. They do want this relationship. So that's extremely positive. Next, we have what's the outcome. So I have the tarot outcome, and then I'm going to go into the romance angel cards over here. So first layer of outcome is we've got the Page of Swords in the reverse position. We've got the 6 of Swords in the reverse position. We have got the King of Pentacles in the reverse position. And what came out together was the 8 of Swords and the 4 of Cups in the upright position. I don't know if you can see that. Hang on, let me try and make some room here. So basically what's happening in regards to the outcome is, I hate to say this, but this could go either way. there is some of you guys that this relationship, I don't know, there's too much water under the bridge is what it feels like. And so you're going to have to work hard at it. So there's a small minority, and I mean that, there's a very small minority where the damage in this relationship has been done. And I don't know if, only you know that. I'm not telling you what to do, but again, this is the outcome, right? This is not the outcome your person wants. I just went over that. This is the outcome for the relationship that is a possible outcome. So there's this very, very tiny amount of you that I do feel like there's just too much water under the bridge. The damage has been done, and there is no putting this relationship back together again in the way that it used to be. I have the Page of Swords in the reverse, which indicates that the outcome is that the more communication that you have, the better you will be in regards to being able to feel less anxious and like you're walking on a tightrope for the both of you, even though your person despises communication. And right here we have the Six of Swords, and with the Six of Swords in the reverse position, we see that the turbulent waters, the emotions, the hard times, the difficulty that you guys have been dealing with is going to resolve itself. It is going to calm down. That is very, very clear. And here we have the King of Pentacles in the reverse. So what it seems like is that there is a lot of need in this relationship to there's been a lot of growth in this relationship. Let me start off with that. But there is a lot of need in this relationship for kind of like you both to go into your own corners and figure out what it is that you need from yourselves and fulfill that need, and then to understand what it is that you need from each other. I just feel there's a sense that you guys are not taking the time or don't have the luxury of time to self-explore. So self-exploration could be in the form of, it could be therapy. That's probably the best way of doing self-exploration when you don't have time, because it forces you to go to a professional. And I am a psychologist, so I'm not just speaking out of the left side of my mouth. I know this for a fact. Even if you're against therapy, one of the best things, if you do not have time in your life, given everything that's going on in your life, the best and the quickest way of self-reflecting and getting the answers that you want and getting the me time that you want is to go see a psychologist. Now, I'm not promoting anybody to come to me as a psychologist. I got my hands full. I'm not looking for new clients. So please don't ask me to see me. I'm talking about whoever's in your area, in wherever you live. Find a psychologist. That is the easiest way to self-reflect, sort out your own emotions, what your needs are in this relationship, because that's what we're trained in. We get you there very, very quickly. Whereas if you do this on your own, meditation, yoga, working out, you can take 5 years and only move an inch. Whereas in therapy, if you have a very good psychologist, they can get you, I can usually get people where they want to be, at least this initial layer, within 8 sessions. That's how quick it can be when you have somebody that knows exactly what they're doing and knows how to hone in and take those 45 minutes that you're spending in therapy and get the best out of you and help you to focus on your needs and the relationship and how to bring it back into sync again very, very quickly. And here we have the Eight of Swords and the Four of Cups. So the outcome is, and again, Spirit is now telling me there's some of you that will do therapy or have been considering therapy. And this goes along with that, because basically what this is, so let me separate these two cards. So basically what we have here is, if you go to therapy, and I do recommend both of you go to your own individual therapy. I don't recommend that you go to couples therapy unless there And even in my private practice, I don't actually do this. I don't do couples therapy. I've been in the field for 30 years. You know, couple therapists are brilliant. They're really, really, really great. But what I have found over the last 30 years is that when I work with a couple, I usually end up splitting them apart, meaning that I will give them to their own individual therapists, and we have a family session like once every 10 sessions. Because when you're working on yourself simultaneously and then you come together for a family session, it has much more benefit than say couples therapy. And that is even with like a loss of a baby, a loss of a child, a loss of whoever in your life, loss of wealth, loss of a home, loss of everything, right? You've lost everything in your life. So the outcome is self-reflection. Let's go into the oracle really quickly, because I want to talk about that, because that energy came out extremely strong in the, as I was pulling it. I already knew what it meant. So here we have the romantic feelings, playfulness, let your friends help you, and religious factors. And so what this is saying is that your relationship can be improved. And again, Spirit is bringing the fact for a lot of you that therapy would be a really great thing. And trust me, Aquarius, if you look at the last 600 readings that I've done, I think there was one reading out of 600 that I said that they needed therapy. One out of 600. Okay, so I do feel like, you know, Spirit is bringing it forward. So that makes me feel like for a lot of you, it would really improve the relationship. Now, let me tell you a little secret too. Even though you are having problems in this relationship, again, you got to go to a psychologist that is worth their weight in gold, knows what they're doing. Because I have found that all I need is one person in the couple. I don't need both people to be in therapy. I only need one of them, the one that wants the therapy the most, to be in therapy. And guess what happens? Usually it's longer. I would say it's about 15 sessions. But guess what happens? That person starts to move in the right direction, get what they want out of themselves and out of the dynamic. And guess what happens? Their partner starts to mirror that, and because they're seeing their partner get happier, they get happier. So what I'm seeing is that when you guys do that, or if you decide to do that, even if you don't, this is what is needed. Romantic feelings need to be reignited. There needs to be a reignition of playfulness, flirtation, sexiness in this relationship. It's gotten way too bloody serious, Aquarius. We have let your friends help you. And where I see that with the spirit world is they're showing me babysitting. So that's again for a small portion of you that have children, where you guys need to spend time as a couple alone and you're not getting the time that you need alone. Also, Spirit is telling me it's for individual, right? So each one of you needs to start spending time with your friends and just to let your hair down and get some reprieve from the relationship. Bloody hell, 1980s song just came into my head, that Boy George song. There's a line in it from Culture Club, for those of you that don't know. There's a line in it that says, familiarity breeds contempt. Come a chameleon. I don't know. I think it's Come Chameleon. That's a song in the... Anyway, whatever. But familiarity breeds contempt. So there's just too much time being spent with each other. Not enough self-growth. Not enough time by yourselves. Not enough time to, you know, to spend time with your own personal hobbies, friends, and to build that balance within the relationship. So that is needed. Now, religious factors is... What's standing out to me, you know, what people don't realize with psychology is that we do a lot of, for those that are spiritually inclined, I'm a spiritually inclined, obviously, psychologist. And so I work a lot with anybody that has a religious background or a spiritual background to use that as the backbone, as the force in their life to find the strength to move forward in the relationship in the way that they want, right? Because you can't do therapy and let's say you're dealing with a Jewish couple and ignore the fact that they're Jewish. You can't deal with a couple that is from Africa and ignore the cultural issues that they're facing, okay? So religious factors is really about kind of for a lot of you, it has to do with the fact that there needs to be a grounding in your spirituality, and kind of that needs to be the foundation that everything is built from, right? So that, again, this re-exploring, reigniting of the relationship, I do feel like it's positive. I do feel like things can turn in the right direction. I do feel like you guys have been through a lot, but I feel like the both of you are burnt out from all of this, and so there's a lack of energy in this relationship. There's a lack of passion and playfulness and flirtation and romantic feelings, and all of that has been kind of extinguished from this relationship. But I do feel here that it can all be brought back because of one reason. This is what your person wants. They want happiness with you. And if that's what you want too, guess what? You have the same outcome. You have the same goal. And if you can get your person, Aquarius, to verbalize that, say, you know, listen, what is the ultimate goal for this relationship? What do you ultimately want? I bet you any money they will say in one version or another, I just want us to be happy. Boom, that's that. Right? And don't you just want to be happy with them? If you both want the same things, this relationship will last. Okay, this relationship will go in the right direction. Aquarius, at the end of this reading, right here in this drop down box, is going to come up in a second, is your general reading for April, and there is your money, career, and finance reading for April. Please click on that box if you're interested in those readings. If you're interested in your love reading for next month, please hit the bell button below the subscribe, and please subscribe, like, please, the video, and share the video. And for those of you that have already subscribed, thank you so much. It's such an honor to have you as a subscriber. And oh, let me remind you guys, my channel is small enough that I take questions. Please do not divulge your whole situation. Don't divulge intimate information. But if you want to leave a general question that you want answered, you can do so. So in the love reading, if you have a love question, leave it in the leave it as a full sentence, but put it in the comment section of the love reading. If you have a question about money, career, and finance in your April reading, after you watch that, leave it in the comment section there. And if you have a general reading, a general question, then after you watch the general reading, leave it in the comment section there. And again, I do need to have a full sentence. You know, if you have a question about your job, just don't write job. I don't know what the hell that means. I don't know if that means Steve Jobs. I don't know if that means Job in the Bible. I don't know what the hell that means. So write a full sentence, but don't disclose personal information, right? You can say, you know, I am an accountant and they've just laid everybody off. Will I be employed soon? Where do you see me? You know, and if it comes, and I'll focus on your energy, and I'll see if it comes up in the future reading. So I encourage you to do that. Aquarius, everything's going to be okay. And please check out those readings if you're interested, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.